Believe it or not, that concludes the resolutions. Pretty light meeting. It must be getting to be summer. There are no bylaws for consideration of council this evening, so I'm going to proceed with the mayor's report. Please provide the mayor's report for the period of May 12th to the 26th. I will note that I was in and out of the city from the 12th through the 16th. On the 14th, while in Winnipeg, I attended the Vision Quest conference, which is the Aboriginal Economic and Community Development Conference, and I was asked, and always appreciative that the City of Thompson is asked to provide greetings at the largest conference of in regards to economic development for the Aboriginal community. So I did have the opportunity to provide a copy of last year's report on the Aboriginal Accord and take in some sessions. I also had the opportunity informally to meet with Mayor Sam Cates on the evening of the banquet for a little while. And as I mentioned to him, it was nice to be able to meet another mayor of a larger city and for me to complain about the quality of his streets for a change. So, interesting discussion. I did return to Thompson for one day during that period. That was the 13th, and I did attend, along with Councillor Beyer, the cultural proficiency training provided by the school district in Mystery Lake. I attended through the role of the city being a partner on the Aboriginal Accord and some seats being made available, and I would certainly encourage other members to take that training, as our administration is in the process of doing as well. On May 16th, I had the opportunity to attend the Northern Bar Association retirement celebration for Judge Brian Cawley. At that time, I had the pleasure of presenting Judge Cawley and Sue Cawley with a key to the city in recognition of their outstanding community contribution over, I believe, the last 40-some years, and always have been involved, and they will be missed when they relocate from the community. On the 17th, I had the opportunity to attend the Law North 50th anniversary celebration, and I'll note that I was joined at that event by Councillor Locker, Councillor Beyer, and Deputy Mayor Fensky. For those who know, Law North hasn't always been the name. It was interesting to go through the list of the different names that the firm has been, but what was really neat was seeing so many of the former partners, especially the founding partner, Don Cameron, and I want to note that Don was very clear that he came to Thompson because of Councillor Locker. So it was neat to hear some of the reminiscing of Thompson as it grew up, and I just want to acknowledge it was a phenomenal event. Law North, Al Hubido, and Derek Coggin as the partners really hosted both nights, and they did an absolutely outstanding job, and it speaks to the level of excellence that law firm has always practiced. On May 21st, I had a chance to attend the Chamber of Commerce where the City of Thompson financial plan was presented. I want to thank Deputy Mayor Fensky for making that presentation. I'll note that Councillor Locker and Councillor Collada were also in attendance that day, and administration was represented by Carol Taylor and the City Manager Sepatelli. On the 22nd, I had the opportunity to attend the Rotary Club and again provide the same financial plan for the city, and Jenny Krentz assisted me in making that presentation. And I do want to note that if there are community groups that are interested in seeing or having the financial plan presentation made, we would be more than happy to share what we've done in terms of putting the plan together and what our priorities and initiatives are for the coming year. Also on the 22nd, I had the opportunity, along with the city manager, to attend the Cree Language Festival at Wapanuck School. Always a phenomenal event, and then we had a chance to tour some of the classrooms and see the work that is being done. I want to commend that school. I think they are leading the way in not just in our community, but indeed in our province and right across Canada in terms of some of the work that's being done. So congratulations to them and the students. And then on the evening of the 22nd, I had the opportunity to attend the Evening of Appreciation at UCN for all the trades and companies that contributed to the construction of the Thompson campus. It was a great event in terms of recognizing those people that have worked hard over the last number of years to make the facility a reality. And I was very pleased, and when President Jonason made it very clear they were all on the same team, and that's Team UCN, and they handed out hockey jerseys just to reinforce it was a team. So Good evening. Obviously, on the 23rd, the big event was the University College of the North grand unveiling, and I had an opportunity to attend and provide some brief greetings on behalf of the City of Thompson. I know it was a huge crowd, so I'm not sure I've captured everyone, but I do know that I did see Deputy Mayor Fenske, Councillor Collada, and of course Councillor Frenier in attendance along with the City Manager. It was a great event. I was very appreciative that the Premier of the province of Manitoba took the time to attend in person here in Thompson, because as I said that day, I think this is a significant milestone in the evolution of northern Manitoba, and for me it is really about investing in our greatest resource, which is our people. And the payoff isn't going to be, as I mentioned, measured in the number of jobs or the length of a project. This will go on for as long as students attend. So it was a great event. I have to say that the facility is absolutely stunning. I want to commend all those involved. As I said that evening, it wasn't without challenges. We endured a great deal of challenges. We endured a great deal of debate here in this council chamber. But at the end of the day, it's not about the amount of money invested in that building. It's about the fact that that building exists for the future of northern residents, and it comes along with the necessities of childcare and housing, and it is a complete package, and I'm very proud. I did acknowledge the passion of Councillor Lafreniere in terms of her contribution in that process to get approval from the City of Thompson, and again, very pleased to be there. I was extremely impressed with the work that UCN has done to open that facility up to the community. I understand a great number of people toured through the facility that night. It's stunning. I encourage people to go take a look at it. And it is investing, as I say, in our greatest resource, which is our youth, as shown by Mr. Settee this evening. So I encourage people to take a look if they get a chance. And the tour, I also can advise that during the celebration, I did have an opportunity to speak briefly and privately with the Premier on a number of issues, including the cadet program and where we're at with that program and our desire to see it move forward, as well as Mr. Allam on some of the issues relating to education and the campus and the community. I will note the big challenge that they presented for us is that their fireworks was absolutely stunning. So I know the pressure is going to be on us on Canada Day, because that's all I heard about Saturday morning, and it was a great celebration. But what I really loved was it wasn't just a celebration of one sector of the community, it was a celebration for Thompson and northern Manitoba. So appreciate that. On the evening of the 24th, I had the opportunity to attend the 2014 Manitoba Provincial Mine Rescue Banquet, and Councillor Collada was there as well that evening. And it was a great event. You can tell just by the enthusiasm and spirit, the level of camaraderie, and the shared interest of all 5 teams from throughout the province towards mine rescue, the notion of managing risk and being the responders. Chief Mascarene was also present along with some other members from administration, and I absolutely take my hats off to the work that is being done by that group. And I want to acknowledge and thank the valet team led by Kim Hayes and his members who, as I understand it, were right there in the event and ended up finishing as the runners-up. But I can tell you that as I said that evening, I think everyone in that room was absolutely confident that we have the best people in the industry, ensuring that we take care of our own. And then, of course, on the 24th, community cleanup was held, and I did have the opportunity to stop by, talk a little bit to Wayne Kaversky that afternoon. I want to thank Robbins Donuts for hosting the event, and I want to thank Wayne and our staff for being out there. You know, Wayne, as a director, didn't have to be there, but he was there keeping an eye on it and really encouraging people. I'm told that we had over 1,000 bags of garbage returned to the City of Thompson at $3 a piece. Our budget was $3,000. We exceeded our budget. I think it's one of those good times you exceed the budget in terms of people getting out and getting active and picking up. And I want to acknowledge all those that were out. It made a difference. Absolutely. I was out driving around, stopped in a couple times at the event, but drove around and you could see people out. That's the good news. And here's my rant again. The bad news is, I don't know why we have to do this. There is just no reason in the world that we have to do a program to pick litter up. It was not the next day, Sunday morning, as I drove around this community and saw fresh garbage containers on the ground. Absolutely unacceptable that people treat our community like a garbage can. And believe me, we have enough garbage cans all over this community to collect the garbage. It's just, I cannot understand, and it's just, as I said, it's not acceptable to me that people will treat the community. It says everything opposite of what we should be doing in terms of community pride. But to those that do get out, that did pick up the garbage, my appreciation, and it does make a difference, and we'll continue this battle as long as it takes, because there are no other options but to clean it up. I will note that the sweepers are out. We're making some headway. I had some good comments about the guys out on the streets getting it done. We're continuing to battle the water breaks. We just did a very complicated dig today at the corner of Nelson Road and Station Road. It was what's referred to as a soft dig because of the complications because of underground utilities, but it went far smoother than I think we had envisioned. It is now fixed, correct, Mr. Sepatelli? And that's the result of planning and making sure you have the right equipment. We had to bring some resources in to assist us from external providers in order to get that done. We still have a number on the books, and we'll continue to address that. I do want to note that May continues as MS Awareness Month, and I will note that by the virtue of the authority vested in me as Mayor of Thompson, I hereby proclaim June 7th, 2014 as National Health and Fitness Day in the City of Thompson. And I will note that a number of city facilities will be made available and programs available during National Health and Fitness Day. That is the Mayor's report. I know there were a number of other events that people attended in my absence, so I'm going to open it up and see if any other members of council want to share those. Deputy Mayor Fenske.
Mayor and Council, I attended the Northern Druid Arts Show on May 15th and want to congratulate Jan Hall and her committee for hosting all of the Northern artists in the Bill Kamaski Fitness Center. It was an excellent show, and the adjudicators spoke very well of all the artists' abilities in Northern Manitoba. And on Tuesday and Wednesday, May 20th and 21st, attended the annual Festival of the Arts, brought greetings on behalf of Mayor and Council. I want to congratulate Sandra Ross Hitch, who is the chairperson of Festival of the Arts and is stepping down after 3 years. Her committee has done a lot and within the schools in regards to bringing the discipline of the arts to the festival, and it's a very well attended and well used program with over 1,000 entries citywide. So congratulations to Sandra Ross Hitch and her committee as well.
Thank you. Any further comments? Councilor Robinson?
Thank you, Mayor Johnston. On behalf of Mayor and Council, I also attended the cleanup parties that were out there on Saturday. And kudos to everybody who was out there. It was a really great community effort. Like you said, many bags were used. And I noticed even today, there's some youth out there still picking up garbage and collecting it. So it's a great effort. Awesome. Let's keep it up. I believe it is a matter of attitude that people must have. So I would encourage our constituents to talk to your neighbors when you see somebody put something on the ground. Encourage them to try and put it in a receptacle instead. That would be my advice. And also I'd like to mention that we came across a dead animal on the trail, on the Millennium Trail, which was within 5 feet inside the tree line. So if there's anybody out there that has a dead animal they don't know how to dispose of, please contact the city and we can help them out with that. Or if you do come across a dead animal, again, if you're going to cover it up thinking that nobody will see it, it's best that they contact the city and we'll take care of it. Thank you.
And just a note on that one, a good point on the garbage cleanup. The $3 per bag return program will operate until June the 9th. So I know there's still some areas out there that were a little wet that people couldn't get at. So hopefully people will continue that pickup. So thank you. Councilor Frenier.
Just 2 things I wanted to mention. I'm on the RCMP Aboriginal Advisory Committee to the Commanding Officer, and I was in Winnipeg May 16th, and they did the press conference on the missing and murdered women. and there is 1,017 missing or murdered women in Canada, 195 of those, or 196, sorry, from Manitoba. So I think there's lots of work to do here at home as well as across the province and country. And I think the RCMP are taking a step to attempt to understand how they may operationalize themselves differently to help prevent some of these tragedies. I think the one good piece of news that came out of that was that that the women who are murdered, 88% of them are not in the sex trade, and I think that's important for Canadians and people in Thompson to understand that these are women that we see every day. They're not that women in the sex trade deserve worse, but for people to understand that people aren't ending up murdered because of lifestyle choices. And the really good piece of news is that the solve rate isn't different for Aboriginal people or non-Aboriginal people, and I think that shows a good sign for our RCMP in Canada. And on not such a heavy note, Friday, I think I just want to note on the evening at the open house, there was people at UCN were trying to figure out how many people actually came through, and all we could kind of settle on was at least 2,000. One student new to Thompson said she couldn't believe that there was this many people in Thompson. So it was as though people were swarming on every possible area of square footage of that building. So it was great to see. And in my role as counselor, it was good to be reminded of how much community support there is for UCN and that the right decisions were made, and it was so obvious on Friday. I also had the chance to attend the pipe ceremony earlier in the day before the formalities. So just wanted to state that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Councillor Robinson?